Hello, boys and girls and boys, anybody who happens to be watching. Welcome along to Wood Spun Around. I'm Doug. This is my shop. It's my wood style, but this is where I have my fun. This is my peaceful place. I've got Ruby and Jason and Todd with me today.
Ooh.
They're going to be keeping me straight and keeping you guys straight, and we'll just have a load of fun. So they're not going anywhere other than to the background. They'll still be here. Bye.
I
All
don't know if
right.
Yeah,
we
I'm
can.
still here.
I
Yep,
don't know
they're
if we
still
can
here.
keep. I don't know if we can keep you straight, Doug.
I know it. I know it.
I showed up because I heard there might be color involved.
There might be. There might be. That is still a question. Let me show you why. I went out and got this piece of wood out of the backyard. The bark was falling off of it. I just kind of hit it with the side of my hand and it fell off. Trimmed it up, and lo and behold, I think I have walnut on my hands. So we're going to dig into it. You do see some cracks there. They're on both ends. Um, that between the cracks and what we find when we get inside of this piece will determine if we're actually going to color it or not. Um, I was thinking I didn't remember where this wood came from. Then all of a sudden it dawned on me. This was a tree in my son's backyard right after he and his wife got married. They had bought this house and moved in, and this tree fell in a storm. My wife was there when it fell, and she calls me, sends a picture from a distance, and she says, "This walnut tree fell. If you want some of it, I'll bring some home. But it's not very big. It's there's not much of it worth turning." I got down there, and this was right out of the middle of the tree. It's 9 inches in diameter. So yeah, it was big enough to turn. So I've got a pile of it outside. It was not processed very well, so unfortunately, it's all got these cracks in it. But I will get something out of them today. This is going to be a bowl, and if depending on what we find when we get to the inside, we may color it for Holy Week. So I'm going to get started and let these guys let us know who all is in the chat today.
Okay, if Ruby will help me out, I'll try to run through them.
Okie doke.
Mike McEwen was up there first, and then saying Happy Tuesday. Paul North Fork Hunter was in there. Doug himself said hi, people, and Ruby's in. There's Jason from Salisbury Craft that you guys just saw a second ago. Paul's saying that his attention will be split between Doug's live and England versus Japan. I'm assuming that's soccer. Is that leading up to the World Cup? Mike Evans is in. Tony Turns Wood made it. He said made it to a real time demo.
Good
Roger
morning, Tony.
Kent is in. Malcolm Douglas is in saying hi. Gab is in. Hello. Let's see. Did I say Roger? Yeah, Roger Kent already. Doug Bennett is in saying hello, everyone. Let's see. Matt Harbor is in. Matt.
Hey,
Matt gave a great demo last week on Worldwide Woodturners. Let's see. Ward Wilson is in. Hello from the west coast of Arizona.
Oh, while I'm thinking about it, Matt, if you recorded yourself, I would love to have a copy of your recording because the internet did not cooperate at all. And you said some things that I would love to know what you said. So,
Yeah, it was really breaking up on him. And,
yeah, it was the internet problem. It wasn't Matt. It was the
no,
internet.
yeah, a lot of people were having similar issues. Let's see. Roger Woolham is in from Northeast Missouri. Pete, Twisted Trees.
Good
Tom
morning,
Kenny.
Pete.
Yeah, Tom Kenny is in. Todd at Glen Cove. No L in there.
Glen Clove. That's a new one.
Right? It's just like my tongue got big, wide, and thick for a second. Couldn't skip the L. Did I say Ward Wilson already?
Yes.
from the west coast of Arizona.
Yeah.
Then we're
Dale,
down.
Old Man River. Jennifer Crafts Creations. Tony Smith saying good evening all.
Hiya, Tony.
Lucy. Hello, Lucy.
Sweet potato.
Hey Doug, would we be able to get the camera view that's out a bit further? Or that?
How's that?
Okay, Hopper's 2010 is in.
Martin.
I just made it to, there you go. Just made it
Martin.
to him. So I'm slowly scrolling here. Al Dawson is in. Hello, Al.
Yeah.
Wood and Burl.
That's
Haley.
Haley.
Uh-huh. Let's see. Spun by Green Jeans. Tim Ponder. I missed it. It refreshed on me. I'm missing a couple, so I scrolled back up a second. Let's see. Now I'm making my way back down. Matt is saying he did not record myself.
Okay.
He said.
Okay.
The audio sucked. I'm happy to clear up any questions. That'd be nice.
Yeah, there were just some things that I didn't hear well enough to even ask a question.
Yeah.
I was trying to watch the recording this morning, and it's just not there.
So I think I called World Cup and I almost said soccer, but Lucy is calling it football. So
That's rugby.
is it rugby? Okay. And I don't know if I missed anyone, but I made it to the bottom, and so I apologize if I missed you.
No, I think you've gotten them, but in case you didn't, welcome everyone and know that we're glad you're here.
All right. We have definitely got some walnut here. It's bug eaten. So the tree was standing dead, apparently, before it fell. So who knows what we'll find when we get down into it here.
Real Simple Things has joined, saying good evening, good folks of YouTube land. Hope
That
you're
would
all
be
well.
Boz. Boz likes things burned.
We're glad you're here, Boz.
All right. Start getting myself something that resembles a tenon down here. Then we can get our bowl started to shape up a little bit.
So the diameter of this piece is about 9 inches.
Yes. Yes, thereabouts. I might probably end up a little under that by the time it's all said and done. But that's about where the log started. Let's see if we can measure out a.
Well, if you fill it with the Lind chocolates, that'll be just big enough.
For one person.
If I could still eat ice cream, it'd be about the right size for a good ice cream bowl.
True.
It's not big enough for my wife for popcorn.
Oh, she needs the big bowl, does she?
She likes a big bowl, but then she eats it over about 3 nights. So, but she likes to start off with a big bowl.
Matt Harbor's in the Lind camp in quantities also. Good for you, Matt.
Scott Hampton Wood Turnings is in.
Hey, Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Always happy to see him.
He's
think
just
it's-
from the West Bank.
I think of Scott every time I put a new edge on my scraper.
I bet you do.
Silliest thing stick in my mind.
All right. Now, why would you think of Scott?
Because I was talking to him, or I was in a demo or something, and he picked that scraper up, and he was like, there may or may not be a little bit of an edge here, but I don't want to go to my grinder and have like a second edge in places. So take you a little diamond card, knock that off flat, then go to the scraper. So every time I go to the scraper, I grab that little diamond card and I picture Scott. And I need reinforcement like that, or I'll forget to do anything.
Yeah, still got 2 big flat areas here, so I'm getting a bunch of bumping from that. So
Pete says that his wife Lisa came home with Easter eggs for the grandkids, and he's wondering if they will make it to the weekend or if they'll need to buy more.
Bert's Bowls is in.
You'll probably need to buy more, Pete.
I said Tim. That's not Tim. It's Mike.
And Tony wants to know if your care package showed up, Doug.
Oh, yes. Sure did. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Niantic River Woodcrafting. Chris is in.
Hey,
Yep.
Chris.
Hi, Chris. I can tell things have warmed up outside here because the odd ant or two is coming in the house, and they like to crawl on my computer.
What's that? Ants? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. As dry as this wood is, there we go. I'm still getting some pretty nice curls.
that or you have a pretty nicely sharpened tool.
Well, that's part of it. Since I did just sharpen it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate you hadn't got the pith all the way out of that piece of wood when you cut it.
Yeah.
Now, I like Paul's answer to Pete for him to buy more Easter eggs anyway, because for health and safety, you need to test as many as possible.
This is true.
And that makes perfect sense to me.
Scott says, yep, remove the old burr before putting a new one on a scraper. A lot of wood turners do not do this, he said.
I don't know that most turners understand scrapers enough to do that.
Well, I don't know if I understand them enough to do that. I'm just doing what I was told was the right thing to do.
Right.
Well, I was taught that the first time you turn a piece, within 30 seconds, the burr's already been removed.
Yeah.
Why am I bumping now? This is crazy. Because I'm just getting out of that flat. Very good.
And as Matt suggests, the burr doesn't last long, so you might do it for a final cut or scrape.
This is against the grain, and I know that, but I want to get a sharp edge here.
And Pete says he's got the video edited and ready for Sunday, and that it's been fun compiling our pictures, and he gets to see it all before we do.
Yeah.
And he says thanks to Doug and everyone who put pictures in.
Absolutely. If for those of you who may not know what that's all about, Terry Bray at Heckington Arts has started putting out a monthly challenge, and for this month, it was to do a piece of fruit that was hollowed out and made into a whatever you want to call it.
Salt
Some people
shaker.
call it a salt shaker, but it's a volcano salt shaker or an inverted salt shaker. I've heard them called all kinds of names, but I think I like volcano shaker the best because you turn an insert to go in the bottom. It's kind of shaped like a volcano.
Yeah.
Matt did one for us several months ago on Wednesday night. I'm trying to get, I'll move my camera a little bit. You can see, yeah, right there. I'm trying to get the top side and the bottom side of this ridge to be this where they run into each other.
Pete asked if any wood turners managed to do just one final cut. And Gav asked a question. He said, somebody's selling the Nova DVR XP lathe, which is what I have, for a good price on eBay. Is that the lathe that Doug is using? And the answer to that would be no.
No. Similar, but not exactly. I have a Nova 1624, which predated all of those others. Mine was a belt change lathe, and then they came out with the DVR, and I'm still gauging these two edges. I have since come back and changed. I put the electronic variable speed on it, so it works very similar. It's the same size lathe, though, isn't it, Todd?
Yeah, I think mine's a 1624.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
pretty
Rob from Copper Owl has joined us. Hi,
Hey,
Rob.
I just want to.
The technology for the DVR stuff is sort of unique, and I like it, but man, if it ever goes bad, it's probably going to go bad, and I'm just out of luck. I don't know. But I have the old original version of it that has no buttons on the interset for preset speeds, and so you have to do like a 3-button combo or something with your fingers to move between your speed presets.
That's interesting.
Which is the interface is just absolutely horrible for it. But I love my lathe.
Yeah, I do too. I was told recently, I haven't gotten it from any kind of official channels or anything, but I was told that Nova USA is back open for business. So here's for hoping.
Yeah, and mine's the version that's probably 14 years old. Right in there somewhere.
Okay.
One of my lathes, the Herald made by Record Power, is kind of neat because to change the belt, all you do is you push one button and it changes automatically. So it's very handy if you want to vary your speeds. Like I can go down as low as 95 and then go up to where it starts at over 500.
Okay.
Todd's saying mail order only for the Novas last he saw.
Maybe. Like I said, I haven't heard anything officially. My official contact has I don't hear from him hardly ever anymore. So, which is a shame. Of course, he was one of those that was getting the company or keeping the company afloat, and they cut him loose.
Well, Chris said that he received a new chuck from Technatool, and it shipped right from their location in Florida.
Okay, good, good.
And Matt wants to know what the purpose of the ridge is.
That's going to be decoration, Matt. I've got to clean it up. That's still a flat spot right there. But that's going to be some decoration one way or the other.
And Zed has joined us. Happy Tuesday, Zed.
Hi, Zed. Let's see, change that, move that camera again. Sorry, folks. I've got to get in here and play with my settings again. Like I said, OBS made some changes since last week. And already messed with exposures and those kinds of things. But I didn't have time to make changes to my Zoom.
And Doug from the Scottish Way has joined us. Hi, Doug.
Hey, Doug.
Yeah, I noticed today that OBS had an update when I opened mine, but I didn't.
Yep.
I didn't install the update. I was in a rush.
Yeah, mine came in a couple of weeks ago actually, and I did it last week, and it is different. There are some things already I see that I like there's a sound slider. I can reach over here and adjust my microphone real quick. I'm a little quieter this week than I have been, and that's because I have the gain turned down on my microphone so that it doesn't overmodulate when my face shield is down.
Now, Zed says he took up my request from last week, and his video this week is him making wooden spoons.
Okay.
Very good, Zed.
Well, come on.
Are you talking to us or talking to the wood?
I'm talking to myself.
Tony says it's a good update.
Well, so far I like what I see. I just got to get my camera not exposures, but the zoom level reset. And I have to do that every single time that they update. So it's not surprising. Okay. Time for the part everybody loves. Sanding.
Well, you might as well tell us what grit you're starting with.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
What grit are you starting with?
80.
Okay.
When I started turning, the finishing guru at the time was Russ Fairfield, and he always suggested starting very rough and work your way through all the grits. By starting at a heavy grit, you get a good homogeneous surface over the entire piece, and so you don't have any surprises down the road. And I kind of took that to heart and have kind of stuck with it. I know not everybody agrees. Some people say, oh, if you don't get a nice enough cut off your tools that you can start with 120 or 180, you haven't done the job. Well, I've done some turnings where I could have started with 220 easily because I used a skew and I had a perfectly smooth surface. But then to find out after I do 240 and 320, start putting sanding sealer on, and there's some place I've got to go back and hit with 120 or even drop all the way back to 80 because there's a soft spot in the wood. So I've just stayed with that philosophy. It doesn't take me that much longer.
I do spend more time with 80 grit than any other grit. The rest of the grits after this one will be pretty quick.
Yeah, Pete says that OBS doesn't control the mic when you are on StreamYard, so don't waste time on audio filters.
And I thought I could go into StreamYard and I could tell it to use the mic directly, or I could use it out of the StreamYard broadcast or whatever or the OBS broadcast, the virtual camera.
Yeah.
So I need to play with that so I understand what I'm doing. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And Raymond Wise has joined us. Glad you made it, Raymond.
Zed pointed out something when it comes to all this. He said, of all the inventions of the last 100 years, the dry erase board has got to be the most remarkable.
I'll tell y'all a funny story here in just a second. I found a place in my foot that I didn't like.
Scott said, be careful with those OBS updates. Sometimes they remove plugins. I know that today when I opened it up, my Stream Deck plugin wasn't working.
I don't have anything like that. I need it, but I don't have it.
And Mike Yu has joined us,
Hey, Mike.
as has the small woodlot.
Hey, Pat, how you doing? Okay. I used to work for, well, I was on staff for Kentucky Baptist Convention. And it was real interesting. I knew about 2/3 of the people there when I started because my dad was on staff. Well, when I got there, I came to realize real quick how anti-tech my dad was. He was the last person in the building who still was teaching using flannel graph, which is like a cardboard that would unfold, had flannel on it, and on the back side of everything you wanted to stick to it was like Velcro kind of stuff. It would stick to the flannel. He was using that, and people were already using data projectors and laptops. Not my dad. So they finally talked him into using an overhead, which is pretty advanced compared to the flannel graph. Come to find out, he had the bulb that was in the overhead projector. There was a spare place inside the box for a spare bulb that he always kept a brand new one in. And then in the case that he carried that in he had two more in the box of it, in its own box. Finally, he goes to an overhead projector. You can't carry those bulbs extra because they're just too stinking expensive. So what does he do? He carries two projectors. Everywhere he went, he had two. If he was teaching using his projector and laptop,
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, well, his whole thing was technology is great when it works.
Yep.
When it doesn't work, it ain't worth a hoot.
And Terry Bray has joined us. Hi, Terry.
Hey, Terry. Sorry, I'm not doing fruit today.
That's because you've got fruits in the background.
That's it.
The small wood lot joined.
Okay, now this is what I was starting to do a while ago when I decided a better sand.
Now, Zed's son asked him which weighs less, a gallon of water or a gallon of butane. And Zed told him it was obviously the butane because butane is a lighter fluid. I like
Yeah.
that one, Zed.
That's a bug hole right there. I'm not going to fill it. Just a minor crack there. That'll probably disappear as we finish that up. Another bug hole right in the edge.
And Rob from Copper Owl has joined us. Hi, Rob.
Hey, how you doing, Copper? That's just a little medium star bond that I'm sticking
as-
in there.
As Matt points out, super glue also kills bugs in bug holes.
Yeah, it does. If I had any fear of actually being bugs in it. Yep, no question. This is black walnut.
Well, where those holes are located, you're probably going to see that hole from both sides. There's going to be a hole all the way through there.
There's a strong possibility.
Yeah.
This crack must be pretty deep. The glue is just going right in. So I reach over here and I grab. And in case anybody's wondering, this is pre-used and dried coffee grounds. In fact, these come out of K-pods. Not Keurig. I don't pay Keurig prices for coffee. But whatever brand, oh, I know this is Kroger brand K-pods.
Did we say hello to Rob at Copper Owl Wood Turn?
Yeah,
Yes.
we did.
Was
Where were
I
you?
here?
Probably not.
You probably were taking a nap.
Holy smokes.
Now, Todd has pointed out that the fastest way to mess up someone's knock knock joke is to reply, "It's open."
That's good. I'll try to remember that. All right, let's get that
Now,
score.
Pete wants to know, Doug, if you dry the coffee grounds in the oven when your wife isn't looking.
No, I cut the top out, scoop all the coffee out onto a paper plate. I just let it sit there for like 3 or 4 days. Then I put it in my little tub there, and now she would not mind if I said something about it one time. She said, "I don't care." All right, now that one of the things that's real interesting, and somebody was using coffee and CA in a crack the other day, and I commented on their video. They had the coffee grounds smashed into the crack. It was a big wide crack, and they put the CA on it, and before they could pick up their accelerator, it was already smoking. So I put in the comments, if you happen to notice, your CA was already smoking before you put the accelerator on it. And that's because coffee is a natural accelerator for CA glue. So unless you put more CA on top of the coffee, you really have no need of adding more accelerator.
Matt says the way around this is to have a microwave and a toaster oven of your own in your shop.
Yeah, I
And
do have a toaster oven. I don't have a microwave. I've got an extra microwave. I could put it in here.
And Tony says he keeps an open tub of grounds in the kiln.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tony asked if it. No, I'm sorry. Matt asked, is it the coffee or the moisture in the coffee that's the natural accelerator of it?
Coffee itself, Matt. This coffee is dry, and yeah, it will do it even faster with fresh coffee, but even dry coffee. This was dry, and it was helping the CA to accelerate. I was telling Ruby before we went live last Saturday. I got very sick. Just Ohio Valley crud. Had nothing to do with UK losing or anything like that. It was just the crud from our schizophrenic weather, and it's all sinuses. And I'm still feeling the effects of it today. Make sure we got all that sanded out. That's not bad. That's really good there. We're everything except the groove. I need to get my detail gouge down in that groove and fix that. Detail gouge is a wonderful tool
Yes.
when you use it correctly.
Pete says, no, Lisa keeps trying to get him to make coffee in the workshop. But if he does, it will be the first step to shavings and dust being banned from the house.
Well, and then once that's done, Pete, you know where you're sleeping.
And Malcolm wanted to know if anyone has tried dry tea leaves instead of coffee grounds.
I have not. I'm not even heard of anybody doing that. Doesn't mean it hadn't been done. I just haven't heard of it.
And Matt has pointed out that we're having the same weather here. Today it's 70 plus with high humidity, like pouring rain, and a possibility of snow again on Friday.
My goodness.
And 2 days ago, I had snow on my car windshield when I went out.
Yeah, I had frost yesterday morning on my windshield. No snow, thank goodness, but our snow should be gone. We have the forsythia have already bloomed, and red buds are starting to bloom now.
Well, we can get snow well into the second week of April. So.
Oh yeah, it's always possible, isn't it? I think I told y'all a couple weeks ago the biggest, fastest snow that I ever saw was when I was in high school. We went into church on Sunday morning. It was in the 70s. I went in with shorts, not shorts, short sleeves, and slacks on. Came out, 8 inches of snow on the ground. Two and a half hours difference.
Terry says it was 17 Celsius there. And Radar has said hello to everyone.
Who's that?
Radar.
Oh, Radar. Hey, Radar. He lives up the road from where my wife was, where she claims is home, even though she hasn't lived there for way long time. All right.
And Niantic River Woodcraft says that when he was a student at Providence College, they had 8 inches of snow on May the 8th. The students were depressed. I'd have been jumping for joy.
Serious.
Bailey Woodworks joined, and so did the Angry Woodturner.
Hiya, Chris and Roger. Glad to have you guys along. All right. Last grit. This is a piece of 240.
Todd
And
says it's 83 to 82 in Texas right now.
When I got out into my shop, I turned the air conditioner on.
go away, Todd. Go away.
Just for like 10 minutes, then turn it back off, just to get
Well,
it.
do
Oh,
me a favor and keep the heat. We really don't want it up here.
Same for the cold, thank you. You can keep it up there.
Serious.
I'll take the cold over the heat any day of the year.
I used to say I could put more clothes on than I can take off. And I still, those filled in okay. Let's see what we can do about a little texture on that band. Turn the speed down. Here's 380. Got to back that up a bit.
Well, you don't want to texture your tool rest?
It wouldn't matter texture of my tool rest. It's getting the flat spot on my tool on the wrist. Okay. If you want to learn about texturing, one of the best that I've seen who teaches this on a regular basis is Jeff Hornig. Go watch some of his videos. He's got some where he talks about the technical aspect of using the Sorby texturing tool.
I wish I could remember the gentleman's name, but there's a guy that does a really fancy spinning top video with just a crazy amount of really good texturing in it.
Right.
And does a really good job of describing it too. Man, I have to look that up. I need to watch it again by now.
Just touching the edges with my 240 grit just to make sure all the fluffies are off there.
Yeah, I used that tool, that Sorby tool that Doug used a lot on the bottoms of my bowls.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be at 500 RPM there. But, that's spinning way faster out there on that edge where you were. So
Right.
Yeah.
And speed does matter in
Yes.
your texture and what you end up with. I've got a pretty well defined texture there, and that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted rope looking, so that's one reason I went as slow as I did, because I wanted a good, well defined texture. All right, I almost got the foot small as I wanted. Not quite, but almost.
Hopper says he can put a texture like that with his skew.
Oh, if you could only make it consistent, that's the trick. I ought to
And
go out there and get my middle Moroccan bowl. That's it.
Matt says you could augment that texture with a little carving.
Could. I've got another way. I think I'm going to augment it though, Matt. You'll like it, I think.
Which reminded me, I meant to thank Matt for the set of little cutters or whatever they are that I put into my Amazon shop after his video last week doing all those piercings.
So you spent some more money, did you, Todd?
Thank you very much.
Todd's wife's going to ban him from watching demos.
I'm telling you.
That's why I have started my wife and I have always had a shared bank account, but I have, for several years, I had what I called my slush fund, which was just my turning money. And I even closed that out. Here recently, I've opened up as another checking account for my turning stuff.
Now, Todd, does your wife know exactly how much you paid for them?
Oh goodness, no. My biggest fear is that she'll sell when I die, she'll sell this stuff for what I told her I paid for it. No, that's horrible.
It's all $12.99, right?
Yeah.
No, I tell you, every year that goes by, every birthday I have, I think more and more that Captain Eddie was right. That all of us need to get a notebook and go through our shop and list everything in our shop in a good value.
Yeah.
I mean, I know exactly what I paid for this lathe. I know what I paid for the controller, but it's not worth that, and I know that. So I need to put a resale value on it, and then I need to go one step further. I need to put a name out beside it. Does my son want this or that or the other? Does somebody else, my brother-in-law, want anything? Would he want it? And then she's got an idea of people she can call first off, give them first dibs. And if they don't want it, she's got an idea of what it's valued at to sell it. Instead of just saying, y'all come, and what's going to happen is these guys from turning clubs come in and they take advantage of the widow, give her pennies on the dollar. And that's not good either. Unless she wants to. If she wants to give them stuff for next to nothing, that's fine. But I don't want my wife taken advantage of if I go before her.
My wife and I sort of have a unspoken agreement that she pretends not to notice what goes into the shop, and I pretend not to notice what goes into the house.
Sure.
So all works out.
I'll double check my chuck, make sure we're as tight as I think I am. I've seen too many pieces fly out of chucks this week.
Matt says they have a club group that helps widows price tools fairly.
Ah,
That's a
good.
great idea.
Yes.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've seen too many times when a guy dies and his club goes in and they basically rob his widow. That's just not right. But they do it all the time.
Malcolm says he's already done all of that on his PC.
Ah, good. But does anybody know the password to your PC?
Doug, that's what I was going to say, because when my brother passed away in August, nobody knew the password to his phone or PC or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, my wife can definitely get in my phone. I've used the same password on my phone since I had a phone.
I wrote all mine down, put them in a desk drawer.
Yeah.
Somebody would say, well, that's not very secure. I'm not worried about the people that are inside of the house getting into my PC, right? Security is more about people outside the house.
Right.
But but it's obscured a little bit. Oh, Matt has them in his will. That's a good place for him.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Now, Ray from DACA Timberworks has joined us.
Hey, Ray. Matt talked about this Wednesday about thinning pieces. And I agree with what you said, Matt. It's a lot easier to cut a green piece of wood really thin but you do it whether it's green or wet. You do it little by little. You don't do it all at once. Oh, I'm about an inch down. I'm going to take a look and see. Come
And
on.
Matt is suggesting, Doug, when you make that cut, you drop your tool handle a bit to get more shearing.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I need to come in and do a little more fill work on the inside before I go much further.
I'm horrible about not dropping the handle on my tool when I go down the side of a bowl like that.
Right?
And then, you know, when you get to the bottom of it and you want to start across, if you drop the handle, it really changes that angle for you to go across the bottom too.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
think of it more as not just dropping the handle, but pushing the cutting edge of the tool upward in an arc and coming around to center.
Yes, yes.
oh yes.
Yeah, that makes a difference.
You know, we
Even when
had
you're
a
not going real thin.
we had a demonstrator on Worldwide Wood Turners like a year and a half or something. Was it Matthias Beer? Was it? I don't remember who it was. It was somebody from Germany or Europe. That a big part of his demo was that arc you were talking about, Ruby.
Wayne did that.
Did he? Yeah.
Part of the problem with dropping the handle on the inside for me, if I'm over the bedways like I am now, my bedways are in the way.
And that's why if you move the tool towards your body more and push upward.
Yeah, see, I can't. I'm against the bedways on the outside. That's as close in. I can't get to the base of where my cut is. So I have to come in not level, but not as low as I'd like to be. I'd like to have my handle a lot lower than it is, so I can get further down the wall.
Who had asked about the Nova DVR-XP? The Nova DVR-XP, you can swivel the headstock.
Yes, you can on this one as well.
And
It just
it
gets you out of the.
it has like 4 indents in it that are presets. And of course, you don't have to go to those indents, but there's one at negative 22.5, 0, 22.5, 45, and 90. And it's amazing how much easier the visibility is and the tool angle is when you just turn it 22.5 degrees.
Yeah, the record power lathes do that, and it's a feature I like on mine.
This one swivels, but there are no indents. So when I turn it, I have to get my double-ended tape, Morse taper out.
And Terry suggests lifting the tool rest up a long way to do the outer edges.
Yeah, I have the double-ended Morse taper as well, and the indents. I bought it because I was afraid that indent would just have enough play in it that you could be a degree or two out that I would want to straighten up.
Mm-hmm.
But I put that thing in there before I tighten it down, and I'm not sure it ever makes a difference in it. And unless I'm turning something like a pin or maybe something spindle, I'm not. What difference does it make anyway? I guess I don't know.
Matt says that he's pretty sure his rotating headstock is rusted to his lathe bed. Well, there are fixes for that, Matt.
Now this is that cut that Ruby was talking about. I got my handle way below my bedways, and I can arc in toward the center. Where it makes a huge difference is when you're making that transition from sidewall to bottom.
You are checking your thickness as you go so that we don't get a funnel out of this.
I actually am.
Okay, I'm just checking on you.
I can visually see inside and outside right now. As far as the bottom goes, I'm nowhere near the bottom. I've got another 1.5 inches at least to the bottom. But I'm still getting fairly decent. And in fact, this wood's been sitting outside. I feel moisture in the shavings, and I'm sure that's rain kind of moisture, as much rain as we've had. My sides are.
Hold your gouge like you're going to be holding.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good down to the band. I start getting thicker right below the band, so we're good so far. Now, what was that I was hearing in the background?
No idea.
No, okay. Something odd coming through. I know who it sounded like. All right, we're in good shape.
We're pretty close to the Abbott and Costello Who's on First thing about to take place in the comments with all the Todds.
Yes, I was just thinking that we have another Todd has joined us.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting how the names kind of revolve? When I first got involved with the turning community online, Doug was one of the more common names. At one time on one of Wayne's lives, we had 5 Dougs in.
Well, fortunately, there aren't very many rubies.
That's true. That's true.
My last job before I retired, there were on my team of 8, 3 Davids. Luckily, one of them went by Dave and the other 2 went by David. But
when I was younger, names like Bob and Linda and Doug and Jimmy and were all very common names.
Sure.
Zed says the todification of YouTube may be its downfall. Paul's does tend to be a very popular name too. Thank you, Malcolm. You're right. There's only one Lucy.
Yeah. There are a few Jennifers around.
There's only one Jason, thankfully.
Now, you know what I find makes taking that center part out really easy, Doug?
I know, an easy wood tool.
Yep.
You're right. It does.
The square one.
Oh yeah, the rougher.
Just,
yeah, these shavings are still. They have some moisture down in the center there, which is pretty interesting.
And Todd wants to know if we could handle some more Lucy's.
If we could handle some more Lucy's?
Yeah. See how how that makes nice, easy work out of it?
it does.
I do that with the backs of bowls as well for when you first got them on the lathe.
Oh yeah.
Well, it saves the wear on your bowl gouges.
And this one is the R2. So it, I can finish this bottom with this.
You have
cutter.
just enough curve to that cutter where you're not going to get that hard edge sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think you should be checking your bottom at this point.
He just checked it.
I just did, but I'm going to do it again. Oh. Let's see. Let me get everything out of the way. I'm going to get my official checker out just so that.
So that I won't have a conniption, right?
Well, that, and so everybody sees what we're talking about.
And yes, Zed, you're right. I hate funnels. I've only ever made one funnel, and it was because I needed a funnel on purpose. And that was the hardest thing I've ever had to turn.
That's the base piece I just showed you. And then the
As Matt points out, your grain is perfectly centered.
Yeah, it really looks perfect.
I've still got 1 1/4 inches. So I'm going to resist saying what came to my mind first thing. Oh, not that it wasn't ugly. It was just smart alecky.
Can you turn your tool rest in more?
I can. I don't really need to with this easy wood. This reminds me of watching Mr. Richard as he cleans out the bottom of his bowls with his big scrapers.
Yeah, he always grabs those scrapers. Right when Ruby said use that carbide, I was thinking Richard Raffin pulls the scraper out there.
Absolutely.
And then I use that as a validation of me using the scraper because of lack of skill.
Zed says he used to make funnels that he called death funnels. You place the funnel in a glass with vinegar in the bottom, and it will trap flies.
Okay, there's a lump right there that I need to get rid of.
Matt says he has a monster scraper he uses for the same thing.
You know what I ought to be using instead of this one? This one's working very nicely, and I could finish it out with that. There we go.
Is that a negative rake?
Nope. I don't have any negative rakes, which is weird. I just never have bothered to get any.
If you're going to use carbide and you want to make a final pass in a hard wood like a walnut, even, that negative rake does a better cut. It really does. On a new cutter.
Right. This is a pretty new cutter on this one. I was doing something and it just wasn't cutting right. And I checked my cutter and checked all the way around it.
Try and go just in the one direction, Doug.
I'm sorry?
Try cutting in just the one direction.
I was trying to get a lump out. Yeah, we're okay now. Oh, well, we're getting there. I still got a little lump right there. Anyway, I wasn't getting the cuts I thought I should. So I checked the cutter all the way around. It felt sharp all the way around. I said, well, it's not cutting right. So I went ahead and I changed cutters. And oh my goodness, I know this.
Now, Dale says that he always gets tear out with a scraper on the inside of a bowl. And Todd says you can make it a negative rake by raising the handle, which is correct. But if you cut from the outside in on a side grain bowl, and you tilt it slightly towards the 45, you can get a nice shear cut. And Terry Bray has to go, and she says good night. Good night, Terry.
Have a good one, Terry. Miss Ruth has said, time. Ha, ha.
I can tell you we're happy with that.
Yep.
It just sort of radiates out from you.
It's shoo. Get all the dust and the dirt. And the only well, I don't know why. I don't mind turning walnut as dirty as it makes. Everything is just that dark brown. Now, this does need to be sanded because of using that carbide, but it's a beautiful cut. It's a wonderful cut. There's not a thing wrong with it. Let's see. There we go. And there it is. Get my drill. Go ahead and turn on my dust collector. In fact, I want to reverse. We'll start with 80 again, but I'm going to start in reverse. Come on.
I think when I first started turning, one of the things that used to mesmerize me was watching the dust going out of the bowl and straight into the vacuum system.
Yeah. Like that.
Pete says that's a jolly nice piece of tree you have there, Doug. He thinks the finish will really pop. I agree.
See what we got here. Almost got some.
And Gav has to leave us. See you later, Gav.
Yeah, you have a great evening. Come back around the other way. All right.
And Haley has to leave. Good night, Haley.
Good night, Haley.
Matt's asking if that rim is a little cupped.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
The rim on that bowl, is it flat? It looks like it can look like it's a little cupped. Maybe it's just the shadows.
It's talking about across here. Yes,
Yeah.
it's flat. It's flat across there. Little spot sanding. Got to
I think I would have liked it better if you'd filled the bug hole.
If I had what?
Filled the bug hole.
Oh. Maybe. We're not beyond that yet.
Did both of those bug holes come through or just one?
There's one there, one here. I think that's it.
Okay.
2 different bugs, I do believe. They're on different sides of the pit for sure. That one is full of walnut dust, so let's get a little 34 on that one.
Now, Zed says he's surprised how few bug holes you have on your pieces, Doug.
How few I have?
Yep,
Why is that?
because most people get more than a couple holes in their pieces.
Well, that's, yeah, I guess, yeah. If you're going to get bug holes, you typically get a number of them. There it is. Well, that one's so straight and smooth, all the coffee's just running straight through it. So we're gonna leave that one alone for now.
As Matt says, winter tends to kill a lot of the bugs.
Excuse me, I'm sorry to sniff in your ears.
We'll
Okay,
forget you.
we're in pretty good shape there. Couple more passes, maybe grit, and we'll get done with the sanding on the roof. I do think I'm going to make one more correction on this rim before we close this one out. 113.
Can't hear you.
Todd says he's waiting for the pollen season to stop.
Oh, mercy.
I had a notable amount of pollen on the hood of my truck just yesterday that I blocked off.
Pollen can be treacherous for sure.
Now, Pete says that Doug doesn't have the trained pre-turning bugs to help him out like Zed does.
I thought about maybe changing the angle instead of this being flat, slope it in just a bit. But I think what I'm going to do is just hand sand it so the edges are rounded just a bit, leave it flat. Don't know why really. That's what I think I'm going to do this time.
Lucy's hidden out, says she'll watch the rest in the morning.
All right, Lucy, you have a great night.
Todd, number 3, is hitting out. Matt says his lilacs have buds.
No, I'm the one that said that.
Oh, wait, hold on. No, what? Oh, Matt. Lucy said it to Matt.
Well,
Yeah, actually, the maple trees have very tiny buds, and the lilacs have quite a bit bigger buds out already.
my lilac is acting dead right now. Well, I just saw that sandpaper fall, and I am not finding it. I'll find it next week when I clean up.
And tree carcass spin them my thing is going to.
There it is. All right. I think I just did 180. I did. So I'll have to do that one. Do some 240. We'll be through, Sandy.
So, you talk about finding that sandpaper. I have 2 one-way Talon chucks, and the chuck keys for that have these little yellow stoppers, rubber stoppers on the ends of the of them. And one of them fell off like 8 months ago, and I found it yesterday cleaning my shop.
Hey, was my ring next to it?
I wish.
My wife still asks me about it. You haven't found your ring yet? Nope. Kind of like the one I've got. And I've got another one sitting here on the headstock of my lathe ready to be done. Okay, let's turn that noisemaker off.
I have a question here. You
Okay.
clean your shop?
I do. About once a month or so.
I do when it gets about knee deep.
Yeah, well, it's almost that underneath my feet right now. Let's see. Here's what I'm looking for. Paper towel.
Pete says, can't turn it or eat it. What is the purpose of lilacs? Pete, you can turn lilac. It comes out very nice. And the purpose of them is entirely the smell. Now, what are you putting on, Doug?
I am. This is walnut wood, so I'm putting walnut oil on the inside. I usually do this with the piece stopped. And what I really like to do with walnut oil is rub it by hand. Just take it off the lathe, take it outside if it's nice weather, put the piece in my lap. I'll get an old shop towel and go sit out on the swing on the porch swing and just sit there and rub it with my hands until it's virtually dry. And
so I take it you're not going to color this one after all.
I'm not going to color the whole thing. I'm going to color the textured band that we did. But other than that, it's going to be walnut oil.
Now, Todd at Glen Cove says that after sweeping, he uses a yard blower to get the finer sawdust out of the garage. Well, that wouldn't work for Doug or I because we both work in our basements.
That's right. I do have a back door to my basement. I could do that, but why bother with the fine stuff? It's not in my way. But you're exactly right. It's now, to me, that's hard to beat.
It's gorgeous.
That is hard to beat, and that's just the inside.
You can already see dry spots where oil's soaked in.
Oh yeah. Come back out here. I need that tool right there, and I need this stuff right here.
Jennifer's Craft and Creations is off to bed. Good night, Jen.
All right, Jennifer. Thanks for coming along. Tell Babes I said hi. So funny. He comes in some of the chats that here in the States, and I'll say, hello, Babes. And every once in a while, I get some strange reactions. All right. This piece was originally thought to be either blue and gold or purple and gold. We're going to let it be walnut and gold. How's that sound? This is Liquitex acrylic gold calligraphy paint, or calligraphy ink rather. And it'll take a good 2 coats before I get full coverage. But the gold that this leaves is just Beautiful.
Liquitex makes a very nice product.
They really do. It does have to be shaken very well. When I got this bottle home from the store, it took me a good 20 minutes to get all the solids off the bottom.
One thing
It-
I'll mention at this point is it's a good idea to take your acrylic paints and store them upside down.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, keep the solids off the bottom. The only thing with these bottles, they have a dropper cap. The cap is a dropper, and so
Mhm.
you really, unless you build some kind of a holder, it would be tough to store them upside down.
Now that's a good idea for Jason. He can make some holders that take the cap inside.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I missed that. What was that?
Well, if you
What-
look at some of the paint bottles where they have a small top on top,
Like
if
this
you
one.
make a holder so that you can store the bottles upside down.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's one of
mean?
the things. That's one of the things I thought of if I had a 3D printer.
I'll get onto it.
Okay, we're waiting to see what you come up with.
I cut things like that on my laser engraver. There's a site.
Uh-huh.
There's a site that you can put in dimensions and stuff. Box UI or something. I don't remember what it's called. And you can go out there and put in some dimensions, and it'll create the templates for a box, and then you can add holes to it and whatever for what you need, and it
Sure.
you know,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
does the box joints for you and everything. It's mindless. But
And Matt wanted to know where you got the ink from. I would imagine Hobby Lobby and Michaels both carry them.
Yes, yes.
And
I probably got this at Michael's. Um, as much as I like the philosophy of Hobby Lobby, I found typically at ours anyway, the prices seem to be better at Michael's when they have the same thing. And
yeah,
Michael's actually tends to have a better selection.
yeah, and they've brought in more and more Liquitex products, I've noticed.
Yeah, yeah. Ours
Now,
has.
poor Pete, when he stores his bottles upside down, all the blood rushes to his head when he's trying to read them.
I know, isn't that crazy?
You just have to learn how to read upside down, but then most teachers do, Pete.
Yeah, there you go. Now I could spin this and do it, but then y'all wouldn't get to see all the fun. And this really needs to be. It needs to sit about 5 minutes or something. Then I can come back and put another good coat on it. But you can already see how different that's going to be. You got the gold that's going to be on that ring, and then the outside is going to look like that, above and beyond the ring, or above and below, above and beyond.
And
Yeah,
Susie, the Swiss woodturner, has joined us. Hi, Susie.
Susie, it's not gold leaf, dear, but it is gold ink. That's why she
Yeah.
showed up. It's got gold.
Yeah.
Well, Michael McEwen's here. It's got gold.
And Matt's got a good suggestion. You could put a drop of the paint on the bottom of the bottle, and then if you store it upside down, you can see right away what the color is.
Yeah.
yeah, take it right off that brush you're using now. That is a good looking gold.
It is. I did some snowman ornaments, like icicle snowman ornaments, and did the body in red, the hat in black, and the head in gold. and they look so good.
Red snowman?
Well, you know,
They got sunburned. That's what you're saying.
I suppose. Let's see if I reverse that. Oh, sitting there pushing the reverse button trying to get it to go. That won't work at all. And I learned about this ink from Pete. Actually,
And radar is off. Good night.
see if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. See how the red is separated? It's all on the
Yep.
bottom. It'll take about 5 or 10 minutes of shaking that really vigorously, but it'll mix up. The red was worse than the gold was. The gold took me a while to get it loosened up, but once I did, it's been fine ever since. I think this is at a point where I need to stop and let it dry. I'm gonna put some more on later, and this is, I'll wash that brush up with just some water. Same with the little drop that's on my bedways where I set the dropper down. Um, it'll just wipe right up, not a problem. In fact, I've got some water right here. That paper, if I can get the paper towel wet. There we go. Wipe that up. Oh no, now there's water on my bedways. It's all right. I've got walnut oil out too. I can wipe that on there and that'll take care of that. Funny how that works. All right. I'm excited about this piece now. It's going to be A-okay. That is all right.
And you
Well, I'm
still
gonna
managed to get your color in.
Yeah, I got some color. I didn't get my royal colors that I was looking for, but at least it's got a gold rope around it. Which reminds me, I've got another project dealing with rope and a bowl that I'm kind of looking forward to getting to. Should be a fun one, and it opens itself up to a plethora of opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
options there that come with it. Oh, come on. Okay, there's that, and there is that. Well, I can't get my YouTube chat up at the same time. That's okay. I've got the StreamYard chat. So anyhow, it is 4:30. We've been here an hour and a half. It's been fun. I guess I ought to bring my friends back in, shouldn't I? Do I have any friends left? Oh, yes, I do.
We're
I
all
sure do.
here.
Funny background you got there, Jason. Salisbury crafts. They are some great colors. And that's what I planned on using with some blue, but this walnut is it's just a little too nice to color up other than the gold band on there. I'm supposed to see my son here shortly, and maybe I'll get some sycamore and we can do some more coloring.
Yeah.
Or as Jamie says, coloring. It'll be fun. It'll be good no matter what.
Well, it
Anyway,
came out lovely.
This is a great piece. I'll spend a little more time on it, get this gold some time to dry, and I'll get some oil on the whole thing. Maybe put a little more gold on the textured area, and it's going to be. I believe it's going to be a beautiful piece. I'll have the pictures up on social media here soon. Hope everybody saw the enclosed walnut form. I said during the show that my wife would probably claim that one. She did. I was standing on her right. She took it with her right hand, looked at it, and said, "That's nice." Grabbed it with her left hand and set it on her left side, so I couldn't grab it. So, oh well, that's the way it is. She may claim this one too. My saving grace on it, why she may not claim it, it's got gold on it. She doesn't like color on wood. She's strange. Um, I don't like color on every piece of wood or completely colored. The candlesticks last week, she loved them except they had color, both of them.
Hmm.
She didn't like the color. Ruby didn't either, but that's beside the point.
Your
I
wife
like them
has
both.
your wife has good taste.
She does. People in the store have already liked those candlesticks quite a bit. So, and I took them down there with the seed heads sticking out of them. So, people are enjoying seeing those. Hopefully, they'll be bought this week or next, um, along with some other things. I've got a pile of stuff down there. If I sold half of what I had, I'd be rich. It's a piece here and a piece there, and I just keep filling in the holes, and that's the way it is. So, anyway, with that, I'm going to say thanks, everybody. It's been a great day. Love turning walnut. This one came out nice. This will get at least 2 or 3 more coats of walnut oil on the inside, and the equal number of walnut on the outside. But I'm going to let that gold band dry before I do that. So, any last words from the 3 amigos in the background?
Just good night.
All right.
Had fun.
Thanks for
Good
coming
night,
in,
everybody.
everyone.
Have a great Easter. Appreciate you being